Hey everyone, this is just being me coming to you with that recap of can we say after show of Tasha K's interview that, of course, that she had with the alleged mistress of Mr. Bivens. Now, it was quite interesting but enlightening. It kind of shed a lot of light on a lot of things that we, may have had questions about. So, not going to hold you, but before we get into it, please, everyone, go ahead and subscribe, turn on those notification bells. So, of course, you will be notified whenever a video come up. And I also want to send a huge shout out to all of my subscribers. Thank you. I have finally hit 1K. So I definitely appreciate each and every one of you that has showed love, gave me good feedback, as well as all of your motivation. I definitely appreciate y'all. We are family over here. So let's go ahead and get to it. So, of course, the interview kind of starts out where Tasha K first went in asking her what made her come out. And pretty much Unique starts out by saying that, it had been 5 years. They had been dealing with each other for 5 years, and she pretty much was at her breaking point. Um, Tasha goes on, to say, you know, she wasn't really doubting the relationship. She was just kind of doubting the baby situation, because of course we know that it came out that she was pregnant. She showed ultrasound pictures, and then the next day it came out that her phone was hacked, and then she turned around, came back and said she was threatened. So that was the reason she, said that it was hacked. It was a lot. And Unique was like, no, you doubted everything. You said that I had never slept with him, I didn't know him, that it wasn't no baby. And Unique let her know, girl, I hadn't already had it in my mind. I was gonna see you. She was like, yes. She was like, out of everyone that was talking, pretty much Tasha K had pretty much hit a nerve, with her. And she was like, yeah, she wanted all the smoke with Tasha K. Um, she explained that her coming out wasn't about clout. She said they actually had a relationship. She said that she didn't want to hurt him because she did love him, but she pretty much she was tired of, I guess, being the secret. Tasha then goes on to ask, you know, with the breakup of the group, what made you come out the very next day? Unique said that it was kind of like a coincidence that it happened that way. And later on, she'll kind of go into detail of exactly what happened that made her come out that particular day. But she said it was pretty much like a coincidence that, it came out the way it did. Because, of course, as we know, I think they had the whole dressing room deal going on, and where everybody was at the Soul, I think it was the Soul Train Music Awards, and everyone had on one type of dress, and Tasha was the only one that had on a different color dress. And it was pretty much she was being drugged all through social media. And have y'all ever noticed that it just seemed like when something happened with Latasha, it's like a domino effect of all kind of stuff start happening immediately after one thing is something else, because pretty much this is kind of what happened then. They had the whole situation with the escape thing and the dress, and then here come Unique, posting pictures of alleged babies and exposing her husband for, being with her. And Unique said, yeah, yeah, throughout all of that, she said pretty much, Tasha, you had the most to say, and I really, I was coming for you. You needed to see me. And Unique said that people know that this wasn't her character at all, but she said that she loved him. She said it wasn't supposed to happen the way that it did, but it was something that happened, and she actually loved him. He pretty much manipulated her. She said genuinely she is a really private person despite all of this. She is not one that really kind of put her business out there on Front Street, but I guess she felt that this was the approach that she had to take, because of course it ain't private no more. So Tasha K asked her, um Tasha K said she will apologize if she see the receipts, I'm gonna sit right here on this platform and I am going to genuinely apologize for everything that I ever said. And Unique said that, you know, you said that I was in my 40s. She was like, I am in my 30s. And Tasha was like, okay, I'm gonna apologize for all of that was ever said. I'm willing to apologize. Unique said that the way Tasha K really trolled her about the baby, she said it was heartbreaking. She said because with this particular pregnancy, she went back and forth, about even having the AB is what I'm gonna say. And this was one that was kind of really touchy for her, and she'll kind of go into it a little bit more a little later on. Um, they went back to the question of what made you come out on that day. And again, she said, again, it was, a coincidence that it happened that way. She said, but she was at a breaking point. She said that pretty much she was tired of being manipulated. She further, a little later, she came and I'll go ahead and cover that now so we don't have to wait. But pretty much she said that she had finally had just asked him, like, when are you leaving? When are we gonna be together? And pretty much he had then kind of told her, look, F you. And pretty much I guess that's when she got in her feelings, and of course, here we are. Um, she said that July 15th would have been 5 years, and it was a consistent 5 years. It was not no on and off. It was pretty much a consistent 5 years. They were dealing with each other. She said that she had been pregnant 3 times for him. She had been pregnant 3 times for him. She said, Tasha then asked her, do you know Candy? And she was like, no, I do not know Candy. And of course, Tasha K referred back to the picture that we all seen that was kind of going and floating through social media, where she had taken a picture with Candy, and she kind of explained and said that that picture was taken at one of Candy's Candy's little events that she had for the bedroom candy line. And she said, of course, she snapped a picture with her. She said because Candy had always been one of her favorites. She looked at Candy like, a boss. And she said pretty much it wasn't anything intentional. It wasn't to shade nobody. She said pretty much she really, really liked Candy, but she said personally she does not know her. And she said, no, I did not get paid by Candy. She was like, I don't even know her like that. So then she said, pretty much she felt that she had been patient with him because she was understanding, because his money and everything was with his wife. So she pretty much is saying that she understood that in order for him to, live this lavish life and maybe to shower me with gifts and XYZ and be able to set me up to live a certain lifestyle, that pretty much, I got to be patient with what he got going, because everything he had was intertwined with Latasha. And as we can see that now, I mean, pretty much her money is his money, so to speak. She said that the money was supposed to get moved to her, and they were supposed to be, getting a house. So pretty much this man had to really fed her all of these lies, or however, making it seem as though he was gonna work, and the money was him and Latasha's money, but he was going to eventually start moving money, I'm assuming, allegedly, from his account to hers so they could save up to buy this house and XYZ. And so pretty much she said she was being patient, but it just got to the point that she was really, really tired. She didn't see, nothing happening, but originally that was their plan. She also went on to say, she wanted to know on several different occasions, how much more time would you need, because she said that by this time they're on the third or fourth year, and she's wanting to know, how much more time do you need for all of this, because she, I guess, is ready to go ahead and move forward with her life. Because keep in mind, she is kind of under the impression where he has led her to believe that he's still with Latasha because pretty much of the business they have together, they make money together. So I guess he put it out there like just upping and leaving her just wouldn't be the right, decision to make at that time. She said, she goes on to talk about the pregnancies that, she had. She said that the first pregnancy was timeless, which I'm assuming that is what she would have named the child. And that was the actual one that she pretty much put out there on social media. She said that, you know, pretty much September 20 to September 2021, um, she started to get really, really emotional about it. And she said that first he was happy when she told him about it. Then all of a sudden he kind of turned and got real angry. And he felt as though they should wait to have children when they're able to live in a house, and his child wake up every morning with, his mother and father. Manipulation at its finest, pretty much, is what he did. Manipulated her. And she said she went back and forth with the idea of having a AB. He was trying to convince her not to. She said even the first time that she went to the clinic, she left and she didn't have it. And she said she pretty much kind of let him know that she didn't go forward with it. And he was upset. He was really, really upset. So she wound up going back. She said she was 3 months at this time. Now, we all know at 3 months, a baby is pretty much formed. And I'm assuming that may be the reason she is so emotional about it, because who knows, she could have really been gaining a bond with the baby. So maybe that's the reason why, she was so emotional about everything, because she really, really did break down, during that time when she was explaining the story. So she said that she went ahead and she went forward with the AB, and she had it in her mind. She was kind of done with him. She said because he had her so stressed out. She had lost a lot of weight. Nobody really knew because she, really pretty much didn't tell anyone about him and her. And, she just felt all alone. So she really had been kind of made it up in her mind that I'm done with you, because pretty much he showed up to who he really was. And to me, that was the time when she should have exited the situation and stayed gone, because now he's showing you who he really, really is. But she said he called her the next day after she had the procedure done, crying, and saying that he wanted to call her and tell her not to go through with it. And again, she said she was so emotional, she was hurt, she was upset. He started sending R. Kelly songs and sending New Edition songs, saying how much he missed her. And she said she fell for it. And before she knew it, they were back dealing with each other. And we know how men can actually be very, very manipulative, because to me, it was just like, okay, he called you coincidentally after the procedure is done and then want to act like he crying, like he cared all of a sudden now. And then he see where probably you went a couple of days without dealing with him, talking with him, and now he wants to send you songs and tell you how much he love you and XYZ to get you back you know in that position. This is a this is a manipulative game to him. And of course she fell for it. She said that um that's when pretty much it kind of goes with the clip. I'm not sure if you saw it earlier on my channel. If you haven't, you can go back and watch it. The clip that I put, and I said, I think moments up to the interview with Tasha K, it was pretty much her, and that's her video of her song that she's making. And basically she said at the song, I couldn't play the music, of course, because YouTube, but she said pretty much that song is all about her having to go through with the AB. She even had his name in it, but YouTube called her and said that she couldn't do that because of privacy. So she had to kind of bleep his name out. because he had called, I guess, and reached out to someone for them to have his name removed. And that's the reason his name was removed. But anywho, she said on the second pregnancy, pretty much it happened in March of 2022, where they went to Vegas on a Vegas trip. They went on a trip. She later found out that she was pregnant again, but she said this time she kept it to herself. She said she didn't want to go back and forth with him about it. So pretty much she just kept it to herself. Moving on, we're on pregnancy number 3. She said this pregnancy happened August 2022, which we know that haven't been that long ago. And this was on a trip to Texas. She did tell him about that one. And of course, we know that an AB came out of that. And she said, with everything that was going on, it's 3 pregnancies now. And she said pretty much days, it's getting on to the point that what are you gonna do? We're gonna be together, what we gonna do? And Tasha kind of asked her, like, what was it about him, pretty much. She said that he always was giving her compliments. Um, he told her all about his mom. He actually even cried in front of her, which she said that really made her feel as though he loved her because, as we know, sometimes men won't be emotional in front of women. So I guess he was pulling at her heartstrings with that, manipulative again. Um, but pretty much he was crying, letting her know how unhappy he was at home with his wife. And I guess he was just trying to figure his way out. Um, say that he even went so far as he called her a night that I'm assuming that him and Latasha's son got into a car accident. He called her at the scene of the accident. Like, what? So to me, this is the reason why these women feel entitled. This is the reason why these women feel that they can do and say what they want to do, because these men are actually out here putting them in that position. They are making them feel important. They are making them feel like it is okay that they can come out and do XYZ. Mind you, to me, it sounds as though she was trying to play a part. I'm gonna put it that way. Not applauding what she did, but to me, her compared to someone else that we know, you know, she played a part better than what the other one did. Let's say that. Anyhow, um, she said that she thought that it was okay with what her and him was doing. She said that she honestly had it in her mind that him and Latasha wasn't really together, that they lived together, but she said that she didn't believe that it was anything with them because her mom and dad lived that type of life, where they were still together in the same household, but the dad was upstairs, the mom was downstairs. She said even with her and her ex-husband, they stayed together and they co-parent in the same household, but never dealt with each other. So she felt as though it was very well possible what he was telling her about him and Tasha, on top of the fact that they had businesses and made money together. She really felt that he was really being truthful about the fact that they weren't really together. Um, Tasha K asked, did he buy her gifts and things? She said that, despite what people think, she said, I never really asked him for anything. She said, I'm not that type of person. She said, of course he took me on trips. We was out in public together. She said, he would give up things here and there, whatever. She said, but it never really was about the money with her. Tasha K said the next time you got to do better because closed mouths don't get fed. Now that's kind of where I kind of disagree with Tasha K, because as a married woman, you wouldn't be suggesting or enticing someone to do this again. I mean, you're married, so I just didn't think that was too cute. But anywho, she said that she had been several places with him. Say she hadn't even been to So Def studio. She has been to T.I. studio. She said that she doesn't know T.I., but she said that he was definitely there while she was there. She said, and pretty much when they all went outside, they was all out there chit-chatting and this, that, and the other. And Tasha K was like, so do you know Tiny? And she was like, no, I don't know her, and she was like, of course, I had to ask because everybody's gonna wonder, do Tiny know about this? And pretty much they were saying Atlanta is kind of small, and it's a small world. Um, she said he took me around people like his executives, business people, So again, he had her believing that she was that girl because he did things with her that you normally don't really see a man do with their mistress or side chick or whatever. He really had her feeling as though she was in a relationship. And this is pretty much what she called it, a relationship. She said that she never really asked him for any money because she always felt as though the money wasn't even his. She said that she did motivate him to kind of pick up where he left off, prior to everything and get himself together and start making moves. And that's pretty much when he started, venturing out, finding other groups and ways and means to kind of make his own change. Once again, we see where he pretty much need her. She is keeping him afloat. We see that kind of going on with Martell. The minute your marriage kind of go afloat, so does your emotion. So again, he's well aware. Maybe he is unhappy in his marriage, but he seems as though to me he might be a little smarter than Martell because he kind of kept his a little more on the wraps. Now it might be crumbling now, but to me, in so many ways, it's like he kind of was trying to maneuver and still is trying to maneuver his way around Latasha so he can kind of keep his head above water, pretty much. Tasha asked her, does she ever feel guilty? And she said no, because people shack up all the time. So again, she feels as though Tasha and Rocky is really shacked up. She said, pretty much they kind of met when she took her son and he was kind of like helping her son with his music career, and that's how they met. And he was consistent and he was pretty much on her tail, and that was just that. And she said what attracted her to him was his demeanor. He had this boss mentality, demeanor. Said that he reminded her all the time, you fooling with a real ninja now. And she said that he was very secure, what came across to be a secure man. She said, but later she found out that he is really, really insecure. He's insecure about who he is. And Tasha said that the day you uploaded those pics, what pissed you off? And this is kind of going back to what we said. And she said that he told her that her feelings was effed up. And she asked him, so when are we gonna be together? And he said pretty much he let her know that F you. This ain't gonna happen. I'm tired of you asking and leave me alone. And she said at that point is when she got to uploading, and there you have it. So Tasha then asks about the hacking of the phone and coming back, and forth, with the different stories. She said when it came to that hack, she said that of course after she uploaded, that picture and all that, they still was meeting up. She said even though her family and friends had kind of warned her, you're not scared to deal with him. And she was like, she know him. So she didn't feel as though, he would do her anything. And pretty much she said that he hooked her up with his PR team. They originally was trying to come through with a story to TMZ, but she went along with doing the thing about the hacking. And at that time, he also, he said that he felt that his phone was tapped and he was going to erase all the messages that him and her had. And he wanted to see her phone. And she was like, why? And he was like, go ahead and erase all the messages. And she told him that she did, but really and truly, as we see now here today, she ain't erased nothing. She had every message and receipt it ever was to have. So then she pulls out that phone and hand it over to Tasha K. And Tasha seen so many messages. She even seen a message that one of Unique's friends had sent to her, letting her know, you love this man because he be all in my DM trying to talk to me. And, Tasha said, literally, this is 5 years of text messaging. And you could see her literally scrolling like all the text messages. Um, and Unique said, if you run across some nudes or something, please don't post them. And she was like, nah, I would never do that. And she asked, you have his name tattooed on you? And she was like, yeah. And clear as day, on her back, on the small of her back, she has his name tatted going straight down her back, his real name, which is Edward. So Tasha K is going through the messages. She's seen where he has sent several cash apps, $1,000 here, $1,000 there, 500 here, 500 there, flights that he has paid for, something about a window aisle. I'm not sure what that was. He's had several text messages where he has told her that he loved her. Also had, different hotel information and receipts that, of course, he had set up. Tasha K asks, and well, Tasha K pretty much said Latasha is going to be crushed because we all know that Tasha K, everybody who is everybody, knew that this was gonna drop. So I'm quite sure that Latasha was well aware that it was dropping too. They might even watched it together. Who knows? But of course, she said that she feels that she is gonna be crushed, and she said that he deal with a lot of girls. Tasha K said, yeah, because I have a picture of his private part that somebody else seen, that he sent to somebody else, and I see that same exact picture in your phone. So literally, it's like he was taking pictures and stuff, and I guess spreading them around like commodities. I'm sending it to you and you and you and whoever else. Um, and Unique said a lot of the pics, that I do have, pretty much he probably have sent to other women. And Tasha was like, yeah, pretty much the same pictures that you have. I've seen them already. That was sent as receipts from someone else. Tasha K say, I feel played. She said, I feel bad for you because hell, I feel played. And Tasha was like, let's call him. So they, attempted to try to call him on WhatsApp from Unique's phone, and it kept getting sent to voicemail. So I guess he was forwarding the call. At that time is when Tasha K decided to go ahead and apologize. She was like, I apologize, for everything that I have said. I genuinely apologize. Unique went on to say that even after the filming of Queens of R&B, he said that he was ready to leave Tasha and he was about to. And then I guess she got the deal. I'm assuming probably that deal with Motown. Um, she said after that, he started sending threatening messages saying that him and Latasha was going to sue her for defamation of character and, all different sorts of things that him and Latasha was going to do. And she said, so that was the reason that she got really, really mad about the interview that Latasha did. She said, because she felt as though, I guess Latasha was playing in her face because this is what Rocky had pretty much said. I guess he sent threats like him and Latasha was trying to sue her. Tasha K asked, did she feel guilty? And she said she don't really feel guilty. She said she do feel bad. She said she feel bad for Latasha because she's dealing with a man that deal with everybody. She was like, he deal with everybody. She said she can't help but to wonder, are they really, really together? So she said it's kind of hard for her to feel bad because she don't even know if they even really together. She said that, he's sending threatening messages. Um, After she even dropped the song, she had receipts for that. So even after she dropped the song, what, a week or two ago, he sent messages since then. And of course, Tasha K has several other receipts from other women. She said she wasn't going to put those women out, who they were, but she did have other, messages from those women. So pretty much she asked her, was she going to ever deal with a married man again? Unique said, no, I've been through enough. So maybe, there we have it. She came out with her truth. And I'm not going to say I feel sorry for her because at the end of the day, whether he manipulated you and made you feel as though he was, pretty much on the outs of his marriage, he wasn't out of the marriage. So it was a big difference. And especially to pretty much go with this play for 5 years, it's a bit much. It was a bit much. But hopefully, she's learned her lesson. You know, nothing ever good come out of this. And nothing ever good come out of this. And now here it is. He trying to silence her with threats and XYZ. Normally that's how that ends. Now, this story is kind of relatable to other stories that we speak of all the time. I'm not going to really highlight that, but we just have, as women, we have to be more careful, be wiser, and be able to spot these red flags that normally are thrown out at us in the beginning, and we ignore them because of the compliments, because of that extra boost of confidence that they may give us and XYZ. We have to love ourselves enough to acknowledge those red flags and know that this is not what it is. Because if you don't, you'll find yourself in may not be this type of situation, but another situation where you're left feeling empty. Because 9 times out of 10, when you're dealing with a manipulative, narcissistic person, they drain you dry. Emotionally, mentally, physically, you are drained by the end, and really with no fight left within you. And I think a lot of times it can be avoided if we stop ignoring those red flags in the very beginning. When a person show you who they are, you better believe them. Well, y'all, that was pretty much it. I wanted to come on, cover that because I said that I would. A lot of people say they would like for me to cover it. So I hope I was able to break it down the best that I could. If you got a chance to watch the interview as well, leave a comment down below and let me know how you felt about the interview. Let me know how you feel. Is it a little more relatable and understandable now that she's kind of broken it down? I do applaud her for coming out telling her truth and not allowing social media and everyone else to try to piece together her truth. Maybe that's something Arion should have did. Instead of threatening to write a book, maybe you should have. Maybe you should have been more truthful on your interview with Tasha K. I don't know. At the end of the day, they both wrong. But however you go. But let me know how you feel. Let me know, pretty much how do you feel about, do you think that this was a manipulative situation where she should have been left? Shouldn't have never been there to begin with? I feel she should have never been there to begin with. But anywho, but yeah, just let me know. Leave your feedback in the comments below. As I promised, I will soon be doing live videos where I can, of course, invite my family onto the panel so we can have discussions and debates and kind of just enjoy ourselves and relax now that I am at 1K. I will be going out of town on tomorrow. I will try to make sure I stay out here in these YouTube and social media streets to see if anything outrageous happen. So if they do, of course, I'll pop on for a second and give some commentary. If not, I'll come at you probably Sunday night with a video going over the Queens of R&B. And pretty much that's it. Again, I want to thank each and every one of you for subscribing, for supporting, and motivating me to continue. It have not been easy. Trust me, I'm still learning. I'm still growing. And thank each and every one of you for just bearing with me. Thank you all. I love y'all. And until next time, good night.